Make sure we're good here. All right, we are live, so I'm going to give it just a couple minutes for some people to join us.
And we are shared on my Facebook page.
Oh, great. Oh, people are joining us quickly, so that's nice. All right, we can get started. All right, well, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining us today for our live broadcast. I'm Jamie Chavez, President and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce. And each week, we bring you a series of broadcasts. Mondays are your backstage pass to City Hall with interviews with our city councilors and other key leaders in the city. Wednesdays, we talk to the newest members of the chamber, providing an introduction to what they have to offer. And on what's usually the last Friday of the month, which we've pushed up a week this month, I have the pleasure of talking with JeffCo Commissioner Tracy Kraft-Tharp and give her a chance to inform us on broader county matters. If you're new to the broadcast, thank you for joining, and we appreciate you being here. Be sure to like and follow our page so that you get notifications when we go live in the future. And if you're on YouTube, you can hit subscribe and watch previous broadcasts there as well. And as you watch today, please feel free to engage with us. Drop any questions, comments, just say hello, and we will get to them during the interview. And now warm welcome to Commissioner Kraft-Tharp. Happy Friday.
Hi there. Happy Friday and happy summer.
Happy summer. Yesterday was the first day of summer. Yeah, my kids were pumped about that.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Carpenter. Good to see you.
Yeah. It felt like the year's flying by, but it also felt like summer took its time.
And the sad thing is that it's going to go fast now. Here we are. Yeah. We're almost at the end of June. Yeah.
It's always this time of year I start saying that it's almost time to put Christmas decorations up.
Oh my gosh. So what do your kids do during the summer?
So they're little still. Sophia's 4. She's in like a pre-K program. And Quinn, who's going to be in first grade, she is in a summer adventure program at the same school, though, so it's nice.
A summer adventure program.
Yeah.
So what kind of adventures does she do?
Oh my gosh, they do so much fun things. On Tuesday, they're going to Coors Field, and they get to walk around down on the field, which is like, nobody gets to do that. And they go to pizza places and make pizza. They've been to bakeries and made cookies. They do splash pads. They go to like the kid places like Kid Space and Urban Air and things like that. They do 2 to 3 adventures a week outside of the school. And then the other 2 days they have activities in the school, or they'll do like a movie day or a lot of fun stuff. So it's a nice way for her to spend her summer.
Boy, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, she's pumped about it.
Uh-huh. Well, good.
Yeah. Got Eric joining us. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Eric. Thanks for joining us. So I brought you a list of things. The first thing I brought was I thought that you and I could talk about the business tour that we did since the last time that we chatted. So, and I don't remember the day. It was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe.
I think it was 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
3 weeks ago.
The 31st rings a bell.
Okay, yes. Okay. And we did a tour with Representative Lindsay Doherty of 4 local businesses in the Westminster area. I thought it was really fascinating.
Yeah.
I thought each one of them was good. So first we went to the coffee shop. What's the name of the coffee shop, Jamie?
Yes. Sweets of Inspiration, and that's owned by Erica Beta.
Yes. And wonderful coffees. And she had treats there too. That was very nice. And then we went across around the block to the art gallery.
Yep. Yeah. Our River Gallery. Yep.
So I've been there before. The chamber in the past has done some events there. So I've been there before, but what I did not know was her backyard is now used for events and weddings.
Yeah, and it's a nice space back there.
It's a very nice space. Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. I think she has really honed her materials since the last time I've been there. Lots of photography.
Oh yeah, lots of photography. And And she herself paints, so lots of paintings also. So yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. Her own um product. Wasn't that amazing?
Yeah, she's very talented.
Great place to go for gifts. So people
Yes.
should put that on their list. That's a place to go for gifts. And then we went to the bank.
Yes, Bank Central. Bank Central.
Bank Central. And so what's the story there about Bank Central or Central Bank?
Yeah, so the name was trademarked or something, and so they couldn't be Bank Central. They had to be Central Bank, but nationally they are Bank Central. Anyway, legally they figured it out, so now they can be Bank Central.
Yeah. So that was interesting. And the other thing that I thought was really interesting is they have really taken the lead in putting together kind of a HOA in the Westminster Town Center area.
Yeah, the Downtown Westminster Business Association. One of the employees there, Dana, she's heavily involved in spearheading that and getting that up and running. So
Yeah, that was really fascinating to hear. And then we went to the crown jewel of Westminster, Coca-Colas.
yes.
And what was fun about that was to see the expansion that she's doing. Do you remember
Yeah.
her timeline?
They've reopened. They shut down, not completely shut down, but they had a very limited menu last weekend, and then they reopened their full menu. And so I I set up an event there for the 31st of July.
Oh,
And she said, no, the 23rd of July, I think, somewhere around there. And she said that hopefully it will not be under construction anymore. So,
okay. And
yeah.
we had, of course, the famous Hawaiian pizza,
Oh gosh.
which is so wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah, I was telling you guys, I don't think that pineapple goes on pizza. It shouldn't. It's like you don't put pineapple on pizza. Pineapple's delicious, but not on pizza. But that pineapple pizza,
And what's really good about it is the barbecue sauce is different, but she puts coconut on it.
yeah.
Yeah. It's the kind of pizza that you have cravings for it later on.
Yeah,
You have
definitely.
to go back and get more.
Yeah.
Yes. So I thought it was a great day. I really do appreciate you inviting me to participate in that.
Oh yeah.
Um, it was really good. The
Parker
crown
says,
jewel of,
yeah.
I think you're confused. Oh, except for us. I meant to say that before Parker Brown came on. But the co-crown jewel of Westminster, of course, is Carrabba's, which I'll tell you, we just ordered from there the other day. We do it on a regular basis. The chicken marsala is wonderful.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to try it. I always only ever get chicken parmesan. It's just my go-to, and I'm super
Oh,
boring.
okay. Well, the chicken
Yeah.
marsala is wonderful, and so we ordered that on a regular basis. Parker Brown, thank you very much for reminding me. But I thought it was a great experience. There's pictures of the business tour on my Facebook page at Tracy for JeffCo, on Lindsay's Facebook page at Rep Lindsay Doherty, and on your Facebook page on Westminster Chamber. And so I always enjoy those a lot and really appreciated that you included me in that. So thank
Yeah,
you
thank
very
you so
much.
much for coming. It was really awesome. And what I didn't even realize until later was that we went to all women-owned businesses.
And we did. Good for us.
Yeah.
Wow, good for Westminster.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yes. So that was a fun way to spend a Friday.
Or I should say women-owned and women-run, since Bank Central is run by a woman.
True. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That was
But
good.
anyway, yeah, thank you for joining us. That was it was a really good tour and a lot of fun, and yeah,
And
so
we had
thank you
good
for coming.
people that joined us. Dave
Yes.
Carpenter joined us. Emma Head joined us. Tina Francone, who was the commissioner in Jefferson County, she joined us. So that was fun.
Yeah. Eric was there.
Yes.
Eric Gardner and Erica was there for a while. So yeah, a good group.
Yes, it was a good group. That was a good way to spend a Friday. So good. So one of the other tours that I did since I've seen you is of Rocky Flats, and Dave Carpenter asked me to talk about it. I think he might have some questions. So I don't know if you're familiar, but there's the Rocky Flats Stewardship Council, representatives from different communities and the Department of Energy talking about providing oversight and talking about the cleanup and maintenance of Rocky Flats. They did a tour of the Rocky Flats area last year. Andy Kerr, Commissioner Andy Kerr, is the county's representative on that council. So Andy went last year, and Joe Kirby, our county manager. But they were doing a tour this year, and I had the opportunity to go. I've lived in the Arvada area I guess I've lived southeast of Rocky Flats since 1997. I've driven by there a lot. I go to the Rocky Flats bar across the street where the employees used to go. I felt fairly knowledgeable about Rocky Flats, not super knowledgeable, but fairly so. This was an amazing experience. And Jamie, you have to go if you get and it might even be contacting the Department of Energy and arranging for a tour for people within the chamber. It was amazing. We drove in a bus. There was a counselor from Golden there, a counselor from Boulder there, a staff person from City of Westminster, and then they had probably 7 Department of Energy employees. And these are people who are in the department specifically to do oversight of the cleanup and maintenance of Rocky Flats. I will tell you, so we started at 9, we ended about noon, and we could have kept going. I probably understood 25% of what this guy was saying, which is why I would want to go again. He was very technical. There was a woman there who is a resident of Candela. She's on the Rocky Flat Stewardship Council, and this is her 4th tour. And she said every time she learns more. So 2 things amazed me. One is they had pictures. Everywhere you'd go, they'd have pictures of what used to be where you were standing. I did not realize how built out it was when Rocky Flats was in operations. And everything is torn down. There's not even cement on the ground. So when they tore out these buildings, everything is gone. And that was amazing to me. But what was really amazing to me, and this is going to seem kind of common sense, I did not realize how closely they monitor what's going on there. Land, water, air. There are monitoring instruments like every couple of feet. And they are constantly keeping an eye on what's going on. It's not like I didn't think we were keeping an eye on what was happening at Rocky Flats. I did not realize the extent that they are keeping track. And so when there is an incident, like there was just something, 2 weeks ago, where I don't know the whole story, but a university professor reported about plutonium in the air levels were high. They were able to track that and knew which monitor that was happening at. I walked away from there feeling just increased confidence that yes, we had this nuclear plant that was, around the corner from us, but that they are really doing a very comprehensive job at monitoring it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either, I guess.
It was very surprising to me. And there were places where they clean out the water before the water goes down the stream. There's the Woolman Creek and the Whispering Creek. I think there's 2 creeks there. But they are really, cleaning out and monitoring all the water that's flowing out of there. It definitely was worth the time. It was an interesting experience. So Dave Carpenter, do you have any questions? I'm going to take the opportunity to go again because, like I said, this guy from the Department of Energy was talking so technical. I really didn't understand everything he was saying. So would like to go again because then you could pick up more. There's 448 elk that live on that property.
Elk?
Elk.
Huh.
Elk. There's rabbits.
I've never seen an elk over there. That's interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting. So that was a great experience. I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, my interest is piqued now. I'm going to have to look into that because, I just didn't realize that there was that much going on over there either.
And I guess I also didn't realize that the Department of Energy has an office with, they probably have, I don't know how many staff they have total, of staff that are working on this every day. Every day. I'll tell you, my confidence level just increased. And I think it's just good information for us all to be aware of, being that we live in this area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We did get a question from Dave. Did they give any insight into the discussions about the levels in JeffCo Parkway or Rocky Mountain Greenway trail use?
They did not, actually. But that is a very good question.
Yeah.
You know, a couple years ago, they found there was some testing that was done, and they had found a level of plutonium, but they weren't able to replicate it. So I think I think that was where the Northwest Parkway was going through.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's super interesting. Thank you for that update. I'm going to have to look into that too.
Yes, yes.
If we get a tour scheduled, I'll let you know.
Oh, good. Thank you. Absolutely. So the other thing that's happening in the North area in Jefferson County is our airport manager has started. Eric Dahl is from Indiana, and he was the manager of the St. Louis, downtown St. Louis airport, as well as he's had other aviation experience. He has started this week. He's virtual this week. He'll be live starting next week. He is so knowledgeable. So he came to the airport advisory committee last week and spoke. His level of knowledge is just amazing. I feel like this is going to be such a great opportunity for me to be able to learn so much more about aviation and the aviation world. So really looking forward to seeing him and starting to work with him.
Great. That's awesome.
Yes. And the airport had an event last Saturday called Food Truck Fly-In. They did not fly in food trucks. But they had 2 food trucks there, and they had the restaurant, the bistro restaurant that's at the airport. They had this Hawaiian chicken that was amazing. And then they had planes that flew in for people to be able to talk to the pilots and get in the airplanes. And there were a lot of families, a lot of moms and dads and their kids coming out, which is so good because I think that's what the airport needs to do. Be a hands-on kind of place for people to go and to be experience it. It was not put on by the airport itself. It was put on by one of the experiential plane organizations, EOE, I think. And they're planning on making it an annual event. I would really encourage people, especially people who have concerns about the airport, to go up, spend some time up there during some of these activities, talk to the pilots. I think it's really helpful and takes some of the mystique out of what do they do and why do they do it. So we had fun. It was a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and it was fun.
I bet the kids loved that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was the guy that actually put this together. His name is Jim. He's now on the airport advisory board. He had a fake person in his plane. So when you walked up to his plane, it was like a big doll. He had, it looked like somebody was in there. It was very cute. Kids loved it. Absolutely loved it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Very cool.
Yes. So that's the airport.
Hopefully they'll do another one sometime, and anyone that missed it can go check it out.
Yes, definitely. We have a lot of families who go up there like on Sunday mornings. They pick up donuts. They go out there, sit up on the patio, and watch the planes go in and out,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I think is a cool experience for kids.
When it was just Quinn and I before Sophia was born, I used to take her out there to do that because she loved watching the planes come in.
Oh,
Yeah. And
wow.
she had the patience for it. Sophia doesn't. So we don't do that anymore.
Well, what makes it more fun now is JSX actually comes right up to the terminal, and that's where people get out and or people load. So you really see like that jet pretty close up,
Yeah, that's awesome.
which is very awesome. Yeah, they try to do hands-on kind of things up there, and that's really nice. Let me see. The other thing I did since I saw you is I participated in a podcast with staff at the Apex, the Nevada Park and Recs Association,
Yeah.
and it's on my website or on my Facebook page. So much fun. Katie Groke at Apex. This woman is hilarious. I've known her forever. I did a candidate training program called the White House Project long time ago, and Katie was working there, and so we've kind of kept in touch and stayed friends. And so she invited me to be on their podcast. We talked for an hour. We talked about Caitlin Carter with, the Indiana Fever. We talked about the Bold and the Beautiful and the soaps and what's going on. I mean, it was conversations A to Z. We talked about my plans around retiring and how did that come about. It was a whole lot of fun. They're going to come up. She was with Michelle, who also works at Apex. They're going to, after I retire, they're going to come up to my house, bring lunch, and we're going to sit on the couch and watch Bold and the Beautiful. You you could join us, Jamie, if you want to.
Yeah, I've never watched Bold and Beautiful. I might have to.
There you go. With the soaps, you could catch up pretty quickly. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So that was fun. That was so that's on my Facebook page if people want to listen to that.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. That sounds fun.
Yes. And then always the news at the county is budget. So we continue to work on the budget process. And as we've talked about before, we've hired a consultant, the Bighorn Group, through objective procurement process. We hired the Bighorn Group. They have been looking at different options, revenue enhancement options for the county, the pros and the cons. They subcontracted with another group who's done some polling, and they did 3 phases of polling. So the Bighorn Group talked with the elected officials last week, talked with the leadership team Monday, and talked with the Board of County Commissioners on Tuesday. They went through all of the polling, went through all of the work that they've been doing, talking to people, and then they talked about their recommendations. This is only the start of a conversation. I think we have 3 more meetings determined, 3 more meetings to look at what we should do. We have to make a decision by end of July. So basically, what they looked at was, do we increase property tax? And found that that was not a viable pathway to be able to take. They looked at sales tax, and that's a sales tax to increase transportation funding. Polling was not real good on that. And then they looked at a revenue retention path, which we used to know as debrucing, and that revenue retention would cover specific areas of public safety, and I think we're talking about what else that should be in future conversations. So their recommendation is to look at, to continue to explore and to look at revenue retention. Put that on the ballot. Ask citizens if we can retain the revenue that they already send to us, and that revenue would be directed towards specific areas. So this is all Plan A. Plan B, what we're also working on is, and we've been working on since January, is designated cuts. In January, each department was asked to submit specific recommendations for 12% cut in their department. 12% hurts. Since then,
Yeah.
because of the change in federal dollars, we are probably looking at less than 12%. We're probably next year looking at about, we had thought it would be a $32 million deficit. Now we're looking at about a $19 million deficit. So we're working on both pathways at the same time, looking at what are core services, what are legally mandated services, what are services that will not necessarily hurt the core of what we need to provide for people. But at the same time, we need to make revenue changes. It's always so much fun, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a big task.
Yes. So we will make a decision on that by the deadline is end of July. And that's a deadline where we have to have the language and put that together.
Okay. Well, you might have another update for us at the next one then.
Unfortunately, I think budget's something that is just top of the priority list. Yeah. You know, it's the economy is getting better. Inflation is decreasing. I think there's an adjustment with we were all working on federal dollars, and those federal dollars are now over. So I sit on the board for Jefferson Center for Mental Health, and one of the things that they are experiencing is that with the conclusion of the ARPA dollars and the conclusion of the increased eligibility for Medicaid, there are thousands of people who are now uninsured, and Jefferson Center itself is experiencing about a $7 million gap as we're transitioning out of those federal dollars. It's different challenges these days that we need to be working on.
Yeah.
That's budget. And the last thing that I have on my list is Tuesday's election day, and really want to encourage people to vote. As usual, you could do early voting, and early voting is like at Stanley Lake Library is one of those locations, but there are other locations. You can fill out your ballot, put it in the little ballot box, like at Westminster City Park or Westminster Hall. Or there'll be live voting on Tuesday, and you can vote until Tuesday, 7:00. So really want to encourage people. If you are unaffiliated, you received 2 ballots. Do not fill out both of those ballots. Pick one. One is Democrat primary, and the other is Republican primary. You can only do one. Pick one and submit that. But it would be really nice everybody to vote. Let's be active. We have a good process.
Yes.
And on the website, JeffCo.us, they have tapes, videotapes of what they do down at the election office. So if you want to learn more about what they're doing, that's a good opportunity.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay, so I came in at 11:29. And
yeah, we do have one more question for you.
What's he saying?
Is it true that the grants from the state and feds count against the TABOR limits?
The grants from the state count against the TABOR limit. The grants from the feds do not.
Okay.
That's why last year we asked people to debruce all state grants, and that got turned down. But any money we get from the state counts in our TABOR cap.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Well, last chance for any questions. But if not, it's always so nice to chat with you.
Well, thank you so much. I always really appreciate this. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. And have a good weekend. Hopefully you have some fun plans, and we'll chat again in a month.
Okay. Well, you have a good beginning of the summer.
Yeah, you too. Thanks. Bye, everybody. Okay. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.